Gary G reporting. Stay tuned for some fantastic interviews to follow for the Bellator MMA event. How would you describe the zeal of knowing this big fight is coming? How are you sleeping at night? How are you training? You know, how's your adrenaline? Mm-hmm. Is it at a 10 level or what?
You know what? I think just thinking about the fight, you know, there's been times where, you know, in training that, you know, my coach would be like, okay, turn it down a notch. Because, you know, I get these little flashes of like, even in sparring, you know, I'll be sparring and then I'll get like a glimpse of like, oh, you know, like if I'm fighting him already, you know, and I'll turn it up and then, you know, my guys are like, okay, relax, you know. So, is this the first time at times, you know, it's kind of hard, but because I might be going too hard, you know what I mean, and then I need to taper down a little bit, but it's just a part of the whole excitement. You know, I feed so much off of the pressure and just the magnitude of this fight, you know what I mean, so I'm just pumped all the way around. My body's feeling good. I've been training good. No injuries. You know, my body feels like it's 120%. And I'm fighting at Madison Square Garden, you know what I mean? I'll go from not having a job to fighting at, you know, the biggest event ever, you know what I mean? The biggest venue you can fight at, so.
Right. Describe Madison Square Garden, because, you know, like you said, there's going to be a crowd. It's going to be noisy. You said you'd feed off of that, correct? And how will that propel you to a victory?
You know, I just feel like by me feeding off all that, it gets me hyped to a point, but I'm also conserved. You know, I'm not going crazy. I think I have enough experience in the sport and enough experience in my career that this is not going to give me an adrenaline dump. You know, as far as somebody kind of starting out, not that many fights, this might be too much for them. You know what I mean? Because they might get too excited and then go crazy first round and have that adrenaline dump. You know what I mean? So this is just going to be the right time for me. You know, and it's going to allow me to display my skill on the biggest stage.
What's your DNA that makes you great? If you were to break it down, what would you say? What are the components that says, this is what makes me great?
Just from the simple fact that I've had ups and downs in my career, you know, and I'm still here.
What's been the biggest up and what's been the lowest down?
The lowest down is what I've lost 4 fights, you know, in a row, you know, and due to, you know, small things. You know, these are not things that I was just walking out of the cage getting hurt, you know what I mean? It was just kind of pure stubbornness, you know, and you know, and just going through all that to the point where anybody knows in the sport, you lose 4, you're kind of like, you're the guy that's like, you know, he doesn't really have nothing going for him right at, you know, at that time. So just to go through that and just the type of heart I got and the type of determination I got in the sport, you know, just to do that and to get to where I'm at now, you know, just shows you.
Describe that utilization of losing as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block.
Yeah, well, you know, it all goes on what type of fighter you are. You know, there's fighters that can lose and come back stronger, you know, and then there's fighters that can't really shake that, you know, off of them. That you know, this whole MMA game is it's the craziest job. You know what I mean? There's so many ups and downs. There's so many emotions that go in this, and this sport is so mental. Mentally drained, and that's why a lot of people can't survive in the sport, because the mental part of it is taxing, you know, and it takes the right individual to succeed in this, you know, and it's not for everybody, you know, everybody thinks it's for everybody until they're in it, you know, and they're going through these things, but, you know, at the end of the day, it takes that certain person to get through these things.
Who inspires you as a boxer, and who inspires you as a wrestler, and what techniques do you take from both?
As a wrestler, man, I can't even front. I don't. You're almost there, man. I don't even know any wrestlers. How does it feel that, you know? But in boxing, you know, I looked at all the greats. You know, I looked at Tyson, Holyfield, you know, Foreman, Ali, Floyd, you know, Rockman, you know what I mean, Tua, you know, these were the guys that I was really into.
You're a little anxious, but like you're nervous, like, oh man, like there's so many eyes gonna be on me.
I mean, for sure, I always anything that I did, I've always gotten nervous.
I think his name is Papaya. I use a Mexican guy, but he was real outlandish. Paez. Sorry, real outlandish. You know, like things like that you know that I've seen growing up, and I was just like, dude, you know what I mean? Like that's what I want to be like, you know. So those are the guys that I've looked up to, you know, growing up.
What did you say to your fans and to the world of MMA? What would be your words of inspiration for this fight coming up?
You know, you're debuting.
Just watch. Get comfortable and get you food, you know, so you don't got to get up, you know, and then just watch this fight, man. This fight on this card is gonna be. The whole card is crazy, you know, and I'm just thankful to be in this promotion at the right time. You know, the Bellator is doing such big things right now, and it's a complete 180. You look at this year, and you go back 1 year, and you would never would have thought that we're going to be where we're at right now. So, you know, I'm just anxious to see what happens next year.
And what would you say about your opponent?
That, you know, he's had a good reign as champion. You know, and the time has come, June 24th, you know, and I'm going to take that belt for sure, you know, but I'm not discrediting him in any way, you know, he's a champion, and like I say, you know, I almost respect the champion that lost his belt and come back and takes it back, you know, than a guy who's just held it. So, you know, he's a strong guy, he's tough, his technique is there, you know, and he's a great fighter, but, you know, all fighters have that time, and unfortunately my time is right now. I didn't even know who Dwight Leonard was until I went to the barber shop, and they told me he was from Riverside. I was just like, you know what I mean, like, when I first started, everybody just thought it was like a Philadelphia bell in my hair, you know what I mean? They just thought I was from Philly or
People don't realize that bell is everywhere in town.
Yeah. So that's why, you know, and now it's to the point where I look back and I'm like, dang, you know, that's so cool that now, you know, when I fight, everybody knows, you know, it's the Riverside Bell, you know. So it's cool, you know, and I just, if I win that belt, you're guaranteed I'll be knocking on City Hall. Oh, I'm ready, you know.